everyone, I'm Yafi Lvova, registered dietitian nutritionist with Baby Bloom Nutrition and Toddler Test Kitchen. And today we're doing a little experiment. There have been a lot of requests to do a live cooking show. So we're going to show you for Memorial Day weekend one of our very favorite snacks, right? Boys, what are we making?
Chocolate chip cookies.
We are making chocolate chip cookies. What are we making?
Peanut butter balls.
Peanut butter balls. And this is a great recipe for, well, anyone, but little kids can really get in on the action because there's a lot of stirring and smushing and rolling into balls. So, boys, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. So our first ingredient is one cup of oatmeal. So, Shimmy, can you hold the measuring cup and then you pour the oatmeal into there? Usually, I buy oatmeal in bulk because it's much cheaper that way. Yeah, we want the cup to be full. You're gonna need both of these. So usually, I buy oatmeal in bulk because it's much less expensive that way, and oatmeal is something that we use a lot in our house. But Quaker decided to send me a box of 100 of these things, which was convenient and unexpected. So Quaker oats, good job. Any rolled oats is going to do the job. You just don't want to use anything instant. All right, so our next ingredient is a quarter cup of, this is what happens when it's live, is a quarter cup of unsweetened flake coconut. So I got this one from Trader Joe's, and this is great. It's dried coconut, but it's not sweetened. Most of them are sweetened. So we're doing a quarter cup of that. Okay, you're gonna pour it in there? Oh, okay. Should we pour it in, and Ben's gonna handle the measuring. It's great to get kids involved in actually doing measurements because that's a really great way to start them in some kind of introductory math. You know, if you have half a cup of measurement and you do two quarter cups instead, 2 quarter cups together equals half a cup. Okay, does that look full?
Yeah.
All right, dump it in. So that's great math. For smaller kids, you can start this as early as, well, Daniel's doing it. He's 19 months old. So you can start as early as 18 months, but generally 2 is a good time to start. And it really helps to work on motor skills. So, okay, what's our next ingredient? We're going to do a quarter cup of flax. So this is organic flaxseed meal. When you use flax, it's great as a binder. And you always want to use the flax meal because our bodies don't actually digest whole flax seeds. So that's a good thing to note. All right, sister, we're gonna do a full, well, why don't we just scoop it? Because this is really full. So just go and get a good full scoop. This recipe doesn't have a lot of ingredients. So most of my recipes are very forgiving, but this one you really don't want to leave out any of the ingredients because they're all just really important. They have nutritional as well as chemical properties that make them very important for the recipe. Good job. So flaxseed is a fantastic source of anti-inflammatory fats, and it helps with brain development. But it's great as a binder in recipes, and if you're vegan, it's great for subbing for eggs in a lot of ways too. So here we have peanut butter. You can use any nut butter in this recipe, but if you use something a little more runny like almond butter, it could be it has a little bit more fluid, so you want to adjust. You want to add a little bit more flax or more coconut. We're just using peanut butter today. You could also use sunflower seed butter. Even if you hate sunflower seed butter for some reason in this recipe, it's really good. I really don't like it. Nutritionally, I love it, but I don't really want it in my mouth. So in this recipe, sunflower butter is fine, but today, peanut butter. So we are doing half a cup of peanut butter.
Which is my turn.
It's your turn. Okay, so you're going to take the spoon and fill this up and then dump it in there. Okay? Jimmy, do you want to start making circles? So it's really fun to give jobs like making circles because that's something you can do at any point. So there, just make some circles. Yeah, this can be difficult. Just keep it like, scrape it off the side like that, okay? Wait, one is too small. Okay, let's do a little more, okay? Why don't you start with the chocolate chips? That's one of our next ingredients. So we're gonna do a 1/3 cup. So make this really full of chocolate chips. And sometimes it's really important to taste your chocolate chips because because they taste good. So you should taste them as you go. So back to the peanut butter. Peanut butter has gotten a really bad rap over the years because of the fat content. And the truth is that the fat content in a high quality peanut butter is anti-inflammatory and really, okay, try. Peanut butter fat is anti-inflammatory. It's really good for you. It helps to prevent a lot of different diseases. Fat is fantastic for brain development and mood control as well. If you don't have enough fat in your diet, you really suffer. Okay, can you take this spoon and scoop it into the mixture? And the boys have approved of the chocolate chips. The chocolate chips have not gone rancid. So we're good. Okay, and the last ingredient is a quarter cup of honey. And what I like to do is I like to use date paste instead, but considering these little guys graduated from pre-K today, I didn't have time to make my date paste. But so we're using honey instead. So how about you hold this and hold it right over here. And I'm just gonna dump this in.
Honey chocolate. Honey is better than money.
Honey is better than money from one of my boys' favorite books. Okay, and dump that in. Be really dramatic because it looks better on camera. Yeah, there we go. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and this is we've got some taste testing going. This is why I keep my toddler test kitchen recipes vegan, because the kids taste as we go. And the truth is that that's really part of the fun part. This is a really gentle exposure. Don't do that. It's a really gentle exposure to new foods. And so if you're going to involve your kids in cooking, just know that they're going to be tasting as you go along, and make sure that the recipe is okay with that. So now we're going to really mix. And you boys, I want you to go take a break and wash your hands really well, because we're going to get our hands involved. Okay? Okay. And I'm going to stir a little bit too. It's really important to wash hands, and of course, trying to get this up online, I didn't stress that at the beginning. So this is a great recipe for tactile reasons, for nutrition reasons as well, and it's going to be really delicious. When they get back, we'll really get our hands involved. But so as I was saying, each individual ingredient in this recipe is very important. You could, instead of using chocolate chips, you could use crushed nuts, you could use seeds or dried fruit. There are a lot of different ways to go with this. But I like this recipe as a starter because it's no bake and no drama. Okay, boys, get your hands in there and smoosh it up. Okay?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Good.
Yeah?
I do not want to
Does it feel sticky?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Roll it in a ball.
Well, then I could roll it in a ball. Yeah, we're going to make it smushy first. Oh, that's a huge ball. What?
I want so much this. And I'm making it again. I'm making it again. Don't roll the big ball.
Oh, it's okay. Look, we're going to smush it like this. Yeah.
I'm going to put it on and then I'm making a big ball.
Okay, well, we need to smush it all together. Can you smush that down into here?
Good
job. Well, we can wash our hands again after we make the balls out of it.
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm not making balls.
We're going to make it now. Okay, so what you want to do, Shimmy, what you want to do is take off a little piece, maybe just under the size of a tablespoon, like this, and you just roll it into a ball. And there's our final product. Yeah, good job, Ben. Here is our final product. And I put them there. That looks really beautiful. Oh, okay, that's beautiful. I love doing this with sunflower seeds as well. It just really gives some good texture. My recipes sometimes were a little bit flat, and then I met Michelle Roboto from the Taste Workshop, who did a wonderful show yesterday on salsa for salsa week or salsa month, I don't know, but it was great. So you should check her out at the taste workshop. She taught me that snacks should have different textures, and that's really good for adults because it gives you some contrast, and contrast helps you appreciate each individual flavor and sensation that you experience while you're eating. So while we're talking about that, let's talk about what to look for in a snack. This snack is great because we have the complex carbohydrates in the oats, we have the fat that's in the coconut and the flax meal and the peanut butter as well. We've got the fiber from the flax meal and the peanut butter and the oats. We really have a lot going on with this recipe, and that's why it's going to really stick to the bone, so to speak. It helps to tide you over when you haven't had something to eat for a while and dinner is not yet on the horizon. Kids should be eating every 2 to 3 hours, and this is a great snack for in between. So that's really what you want to look for, is a combination of different nutrients. And that's why I really like this one. You can serve it with some apple slices or some veggies on the side, whatever you like, but it does really stand alone just because it does have all of that fat and protein and fiber all in one recipe. If you do find that you're having trouble finding unsweetened coconut, you can buy the sweetened one, but you probably want to take down the honey just a little bit so that it's not overly sweet. This recipe can get very sweet. You probably also want to take down your chocolate chips, and if you're reducing the honey, you want to consider increasing the peanut butter to make sure that you get that sticky binding quality. You can't just decrease one ingredient in the recipe without compensating for it elsewhere. You're really tired? I promised the boys we would watch The Princess Bride after this, so I think they're just really excited. I'm really excited. They don't really know what they're in for. Goodness, okay, well, Shimmy, you have a very important job. Do you want to be our taster? You want to take one and taste it? Yeah? Okay. Make sure you show your face to the camera. Is it delicious?
Is it delicious, Shimmy?
Yeah, it's delicious. We've been eating these for a while, and they're always a hit.
That's why we're making another one.
Oh, you can make another one. Okay. So you want to try one?
No. Alright, Mommy, there's still more wrap to do.
That's okay. You keep doing it. I'm going to say bye to our viewers. So this is an example of a recipe that we do at Toddler Test Kitchen. And Toddler Test Kitchen is starting a summer series, and it's going to be every Monday through the month of June and July, and 2 Saturdays a month as well. And it's just going to be a real blast. We're actually going around the world with a bunch of international recipes, and the first one is sushi. So come join us. If you have any questions about recipes, please feel free to contact me. We're going to be watching The Princess Bride and chowing down on these delicious peanut butter chocolate chip balls. And I would love to hear if you try the recipe and what you think of it. And we have a comment from a viewer. Matt says, super chefs in the making. Great job, boys. Thanks so much for watching, Matt. Maybe you should come have one. Come have one with us. We're going to go enjoy our movie now. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Okay, we made enough. Okay, have a great Memorial Day weekend. Remember what it's all about. Thank a vet. And I will see you next time. Thanks.